Hotline. The Harold Washington Post TV show is live. Happy Veterans Day to all you fantastic veterans out there. Go ahead, Commander.
Y'all had to excuse me. My partner in crime, that's why I'm laughing, everyone, because he always throws something in before the show starts. But happy Veterans Day, everyone, male and female, all veterans from all over. And we'd like to start off saying we salute each and every one of you all that has served, came home, regardless of how you came home, you're still here, you're still a veteran. And matter of fact, you're still living.
Yes. And the good thing about Veterans Day, I tell you, when I came back from Germany, the reception that we get today, and the receptions that we have been getting,
100 times better than when we came home.
Yes.
When we came home, didn't nobody want to speak.
Did you notice what the little children did a while ago? That was beautiful.
It really was.
Okay? Because their freedom is based on what our soldiers do.
Yeah. And what we have done.
Yes.
You know. But see, this is the appreciation now. It's never too late.
Right.
But you know, as they say, it's better now than never.
Yes.
Because reflecting back on what you were saying earlier, you know, when we came home, it was nothing nasty.
You were lucky,
you know,
if somebody walked up to you and said anything to you. But I tell you, in the last, I would say within the last 3 to 5 years, I have had more people come up to me and say thank you for your service. And folks, if you want to make a veteran feel good,
tell him that. Tell him or tell her that.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're showing us the respect
and
that we have garnered
and
earned.
For you.
Yes, for you.
And, you know, freedom has a high cost.
Yes, it does.
A lot of people don't realize that. Freedom costs. And it costs deadly.
Yes.
Ask those loved ones that haven't got to see their family members come back. And when they made it back, they was in pieces or in boxes. So, you know, it's just the little things that you say now makes a big difference to us.
Yes, it does.
Because as we were saying, when we came back, especially from the Vietnam era, we was called a bunch of dirty names. And then they didn't want to see you with no uniform on.
Yes.
Because I seen time walk past some intoxicated people, and I'm ready to fight them for what they calling me. No, they call them baby killers and whatever.
Yes.
You know, but see, they don't realize what happens on the battlefield.
War is hell.
War is nothing nice.
No, not at all.
War is survival.
Yes.
And I hate to say this, but it's true. Kill or be killed.
Yes.
And everybody wants to come back home, but somebody can't make it.
Yeah. It ain't no difference between the American soldiers or allies fighting enemies, or when the American soldiers fought the Indians. It was still war.
Somebody
have to pay a price.
Have to pay a price. The price of victory is scandalous.
Yes, it is.
The price that we had to pay for democracy, freedom, and even right now, for civil rights.
Yes.
See, and when it comes down to something like that, you know, a lot of them didn't fight in no wars, but they fought in the wars here for us as we came back. Because they know that we needed representation here as well. coming from overseas, being over there for certain length of time or something like that. It takes adjustment. No, I'm not saying we're right, because we're never. Once you leave the American soil, go over to another land, foreign land, and you have to do battle. It's not easy. Because see, as you leave from over there to come back here, you bringing a lot of stuff back with you that you can't take back. That's going to be with you the rest of your life.
And I tell you, Commander, I talked to soldiers when I was in Germany who fought in Vietnam. And I always tell the story of a soldier that I met in Germany who died on a hand grenade. He died on a hand grenade.
Just like Milton Olive.
Yeah, to protect his platoon, his comrades.
Yes.
And he said they had to take body parts from other soldiers to put him back together. Folks, it is bravery beyond the call of duty that will make a man die on a hand grenade to save others.
Sometimes, as they say, you have to sacrifice.
Yes.
And that time, it's time in anyone's life, at any given time. You'll do something without thinking, but knowing the opportunity, what you're doing, you're not thinking of yourself, you're thinking of others. And that is the glory of that person, because in their heart, I want to save. It's not that I'm not done to do that because I'm giving away my life. It's not that.
Something,
To save a life means a lot.
yeah, something come over you that propels you to do something out of the
Ordinary.
extraordinary.
Yes.
And folks, not too many folks, if they have to rationalize it, gonna jump on a hand grenade.
No.
So that's a spontaneous situation at hand that will make a soldier in battle do something like that. And when a soldier can do something like that, boy, you have to lift that soldier up.
That is true bravery.
Yes. And see, a lot of us have not witnessed that type of bravery. And then when you think about Harriet Tubman, and folks, if you have not seen that movie, go see that movie. Commander Harriet Tubman was the
Ultimate soldier.
ultimate soldier and the only woman that led a brigade in wartime. I didn't know that.
Untold, yes.
I didn't know that.
Untold. A lot of this, you know what? A lot of this, especially about our history.
Yes.
We know bits and pieces.
Yes.
But until they start making it known, really known, like for instance, look how many years it took us to recognize the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yes. Too long.
You know, a lot of people didn't even know it. But when they first
the red tail. Red tail.
But when they first came out, oh, I didn't know they had black pilots.
Right.
You know, a lot of time, the black pilots was out before them, but they was fighting over in France in World War I.
Yes. Yes. And when you listen to those white soldiers overseas, they would tell you, we didn't want nobody but the
But the red tail.
red tails.
because they knew what they were doing. They were
Yes.
specialized in what they
Yes.
was doing. They made history.
Yes, they did.
And for many years, they had shot down many planes without any casualty.
Yes.
And out that ratio, that only 3 had died. And all that time.
And I think if the storyline of that movie was true, that's because that one was a what's the word I'm looking for? Not a daredevil.
But just put it away. You got either fiction or non-fiction.
Right. He was suicidal though.
Yeah, but see, this is what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
When we had to do something to sacrifice ourselves
Yes.
to help others.
Yes.
This is something that we had to do. It's a do-or-die situation.
And I tell you, and like, I know people don't like to hear me say this, but Commander, if I had my way, I would bring the draft back. You can take a different approach from me, but folks,
I would.
I learned one thing about being in the military. You learn discipline. You learn self-control.
Yes.
You learn how to respect authority.
Oh, yes. That's a major thing.
And you learn how to work together as a team.
And education.
And you get an education.
And see, and back during our time when they had the draft, a lot of people thought it was wrong and was cruel. But see, they failed to realize why they had to have the draft. Because they needed young men
Yes.
to fight a war. Because see, if it wasn't for the draft, that means the United States wouldn't be the United States
And it is today.
as is today. But see, a lot of the second version of this is not racially speaking. But the federal government said at 18, not a week after 18, your 18th birthday,
You must register.
you must register.
Yes.
You must
And when
register.
I turned 18, I registered.
You had to, or all after that, they was coming out for you. But see, that what we talking about right now, what the past, what we talking about what has to do with the future. Because see, now we talking about all this stuff happening out in these streets with these young people and stuff like that. They don't have education. They don't have no respect. They not learning and want to learn anything.
And they think everything should just be given to them.
Out there playing like Steven Seagal and all like that.
Yeah.
We're military men.
Yes.
We learn how to use a gun. When we use our weapons, we're professionals,
Well,
not amateurs.
that's why we was trained to be marksmen.
Yes, because the idea, when you turn the gun sideways,
Yeah. Right. You might hit anything.
Yeah, because see, the idea, the sight is right here. The sight's supposed to be up like
Right.
this.
Yes.
Then you know who you hit. And then you doing all like this,
Yes.
turning your head. Come on now.
And see, we went to the hand grenade range. We went to the rifle range. We shot at night. We shot in the daytime. We threw hand grenades in the daytime. Yes, folks. You have to pull the pin, throw your arm back, and then throw the hand grenade. So you have to be trained how to do this stuff.
To do
Okay?
things.
Yes. Folks, it's sad when we have so many folks out there, and I'm speaking to our young people, because we have too many young people under the age of 17 shooting folks. You have no training.
Don't know how to shoot the gun.
And you don't care who you shoot. But if you take time, as you get 17 to 18, then you can get yourself situated where you go take the military test, and go to any branch of the military that you can qualify for.
And learn a skill.
Yes. Make it a career. 20 years. Okay? And then when you get out, you can get a job almost anywhere.
And not only that, nowadays in the military, you could go to school and serve.
Yes.
You could get out and still go to any college, university that you want to, free.
Yes.
Why leave your parents the burdens of the education bill that you are going for? Education is high.
Yeah, it is.
You got to realize, why leave it on them when you could do it yourself?
And you appreciate it a lot more when you do it yourself.
And back to the draft. If
Yes.
the young men and women,
Yes. We
if
don't
they
want to
had
leave
it
out the
now,
system.
right? If they had it now, you would go in there, learn discipline.
Yeah.
Young mothers wouldn't be out there being young mothers. Young mothers wouldn't be out there running behind Tyrone, Jerome, D-Ron, and all of them, trying to figure out, who's the cutest and all like that. That is not education.
No, it's not.
Education when you learn how to do something. Self-discipline. Learn how to respect. And as the elderly used to tell us, have some morals.
Well, more should be taught at home.
But how
But it's
could
not.
it?
It's not.
Young is having babies. Then throwing it out on man, look here. When I was coming up, when I looked at my friends, and when they said, this is my grandmother, grandfather, we talking about elderly.
Yes.
But now when you say grandmothers, some
20,
grandmothers
20s.
30s,
and
30, yeah, And then he'd say, okay, for instance, here's a grandmother, 35. Her daughter is 22. That means look at the age difference that you had that child. And then they out there don't have time to watch their kids.
Right.
And as we was taught, it's always mama's baby, daddy maybe. You have the child and then they gone. And at time when you get pregnant, you fire him, go to somebody else. Can't be doing that.
Well, I think the saddest situation in most cases is when you have a baby by a guy, and the guy is not husband material, and he's not father material, and we like for our young women to be more respectful of themselves.
Productive.
Okay? Because anybody can make a baby, but it takes a man and a woman to take care of a baby. Now we're in a situation in America, and we say this to the young people. We're at a time now where most taxpayers don't want to help take care of you and your children. And that's the cost of doing business in America now.
Everything costs.
Yes.
Everything has a price.
And everything has as they taught me in economics, everything has a trade-off.
Oh, yes, it
Okay?
does. Yeah.
Everything has a trade-off.
When you brought that up, for real, because see that you got to look at the pros and cons of the
Yes,
situation.
absolutely.
I'm gonna have this child. Okay, what are you gonna do with that child?
Absolutely.
How are you gonna raise that child? And don't forget, that child need clothing. You have to eat. Have to have some type of housing, shelter for that child.
Yes. And the last vital statistics state you almost need $300,000 to raise a child adequately.
And to a certain age.
Okay?
To a certain age.
And how many young folks got $300,000?
If you do, please call in. No joke.
You
Please call
you
in.
might get a business signal.
I need
It's
a
not
loan.
none at all. Well, we just want
We've been for real.
yeah, we just want our folks to understand. As veterans, we have to look at the bigger picture of life. And I say to young people, after you get out of high school, and if college is not in your menu, then look at something that's an alternative. Because you may want to go to the military, the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, the Army,
Coast Guard.
Coast Guards, National Guard, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay? Take advantage of those opportunities.
In other words, pick up some kind of a trade.
Yes.
You know, in other words, do something
Just constructive.
constructive, something positive, something that's gonna help you in the long run.
And we're not saying that because you have a baby that's destructive. But what we want you to understand is all of the data that I have read and comprehended states that if you have a child before you got yourself together, it's going to make life that much more difficult for you. Not to say you can't overcome that situation, because you can. But you got to have the fortitude, determination to want to make something out of your life and to better the life of your children.
Yeah, because see, a lot of young mothers,
Yes.
you know,
And
would
a
like
lot of
to
these young
see-
mothers got something on the ball too.
yeah, some of them,
Okay.
that's what I like about
Yes.
them, but I'm talking about now, the ones sit up there, well, I want here's a baby less than 2 weeks old, getting a pair of Jordans.
Oh wow.
You know, what happened to the regular white baby shoes? That child don't know nothing about no Jordans. And then too, little kids, babies, infants, they grow so fast, you threw your money away. Now how it is, you gonna buy all of this and then you don't have no money to feed them? That's senseless.
Well, Saturday, Obi and I went out to Proviso, to PT Man, where they under the veterans. And so on our way back, before we came to the post, we stopped off at this restaurant. The mama had on red and white gym shoes. The daddy had on red and white gym shoes. And the baby had on red and white gym shoes. It was a family affair. So I understand. And I mean, I remember I was on a bus. And the young lady was on the bus. She was just so happy that she spent over $100-some buying her baby a pair of gym shoes. Folks, what we're talking about is our value structure. If you don't have the right values, it creates a problem for you. Because if you don't have the right values, how can you teach your children to have the right values? And that's what we're talking about.
Not only that, right quick. Not only that, you buy that child $100, $100-something gym shoes. When you go hungry, you can't eat those gym shoes.
That's true.
You know, and then you all, I can't think of this. Y'all call generic shoes, gym shoes, buddies and stuff like that. Kids overseas, they be glad to have those.
Well, I grew up with All Stars.
You know.
So,
But see, the idea, we here take things for granted.
yes,
That's where you get in trouble.
yes.
That's where you get in trouble.
And, we're not saying is anything wrong with wanting to have good stuff for your child. But you know, folks, when you're having fun, time fly. And Sylvia, we want to thank you because you're a great engineer. Folks, until next week, have a good Veterans Day.